Hey! Today I want to share with you my vegan story and how I found veganism and why I went vegan and all the different phases of veganism I've gone through, because I can tell you all these 4 years has not been the same and I haven't been eating the same thing for 4 years. And yeah, I should maybe start with telling you a little bit of a backstory, how I was eating before I went vegan. So I've always loved food, and my dad and my grandma is amazing in the kitchen. I can't explain it. They make food like from scratch, and it's so delicious. So I've always been really lucky with like spoiled with super delicious home cooked meals. And I've always thought that was very healthy, like a healthy way of eating, because we always ate vegetables to every meal and it was home cooked. It was not, processed foods and, store-bought foods. But we ate like the standard Swedish traditional food. So it was always, a meat of some sort, maybe fish or chicken or like meatballs or meatloaf or something like that. And then I had little potatoes or rice or pasta and the sauce. Of course, always the sauce with some sort of dairy product in it. So yeah, I was always eating a lot of delicious food and growing up, and I thought I was eating healthy. And when I got older, when I was like in high school, I was really into health, or what I thought was healthy at that age. Or I was eating lots of eggs and fish, vegetables and things like that. I never restricted my calories or anything, because I always ate until I was satisfied, or even more sometimes. But yeah, I've always been eating a lot of food. But when I was 18, I got cancer. I got Hodgkin's lymphoma, and I went through like 6 months of chemotherapy. And I think I was done with my chemotherapy 2013. So then 2014, like 1 year later, I started to think. I was like thinking, why did I get cancer? Because cancer and different diseases is not like a natural state for the body. So in my mind I thought like I must have done something to get sick. Of course the doctors will tell you that they don't know why you get sick. It's like you're lucky and you're unlucky, or whoever comes up with the reason why people get cancer is gonna win the Nobel Prize. But some studies say it's like a link between dairy products and meat and things like that to cancer. So in my mind I was thinking like, what can I do to prevent another disease, or getting sick again with the same sort of cancer or whatever other disease there is. So I started to Google things, healthy living and how to heal yourself naturally and things like that. And I found I guess it was like the raw food people, and especially really the banana girl. She was the first vegan I found online, and to me this was like a whole new world of they were eating lots of fruits and vegetables, and of course really ate like raw till 4, so lots of potatoes and starch and things like that, and like carbs. And I was very fascinated about all this, and to me it sounded like very alien, like what? How can people eat this type of food? And because I came from a totally different background, But it was very like intriguing, so I was, you know, curious to know more about it. So I started to watch a lot of YouTube videos and read a lot online about, you know, healthy eating. And I started to think of like, maybe I should try this out, because it doesn't seem, you know, harmful to stop eat like eggs, milk, and fish and meat. You know, like to eat a vegan diet didn't sound to me, didn't sound like it was, you know, it's gonna do anything bad for me. So but it was like a big step, because I was like thinking, what will my parents say, what will people around me say, like, is this even possible to eat this way? Because I was living at home, like, can I ask my parents to buy all this food that they didn't really believe in? Like, they, of course they believed in eating vegetables and everything, but, you know, just eating kind of vegetables and fruits and things like that, they were like, maybe not. So I started to eat like vegetarian for like a month, so like the summer of 2014 I was eating vegetarian, and I was, you know, still looking at Freely and some other YouTubers and like Instagrammers for, you know, inspiration. And I talked with my sisters and said like, this sounds so interesting, I want to try it out and I want to see, you know, what happens, because clearly I, in my mind, thought like what I did before didn't really work out for me since I got sick. Of course you don't know if it's the food that actually makes you sick, but in my mind it sounded like a good idea to try to switch it out and eat healthy. And so I remember that just like the day before school started, Astrid and I was watching a YouTube video that's called 101 Reasons to Go Vegan, and I just remember when we watched that like video, it just clicked. Like, we was, okay, this makes so much sense, so we want to try this out. And we became vegan, you know, we decided to go vegan like the next morning. So when I first, like my mind, when I was thinking, you know, how I found veganism, it was because of my health, because I wanted to be healthy. But then like the moment where it clicked, like, okay, I'm gonna go vegan today, it was when I saw in that video the guy was talking about the difference between like a pig and a little dog, and in some cultures they eat dogs and they think that's normal, and here we eat, you know, pigs and we think that's normal, and we think it's crazy that people eat dogs in other countries. But that's just, you know, how we were brought up, like cultural, like a cultural thing, how we always been living here. And so for me it was like, wow, that sounds like really, like, it made sense to me that maybe we shouldn't eat just one animal and not eat the other one. And also Astrid was talking about like when the guy was talking about like if you hold your hand over a fire, you know, it burns you, so you like pull away. And the same thing with a dog, if you had holding his paw over fire, he's gonna pull away. And the same goes with a chicken or with a pig. If you hold, you know, a pig's foot over fire, he's gonna pull away because it hurts. So all animals and all beings feel pain, and why should we eat them? So at this moment I had both like the health and also like the animals in my mind, like, okay, these two things are very important to me and now I want to go vegan. So I think that's really important, if you want to go vegan, that you know why you want to go vegan, because if you don't know why, then you're gonna have troubles, you know, at a party. If there's food and there's nothing vegan, you're gonna eat the non-vegan food just because you don't have a connection. So you need a connection and know like why you want to go vegan. Because if I'm at a party, if there's no vegan food, I will wait until I get home, or I will always bring food with me. I would never eat a piece of cheese just because that's available and that's the only thing there. Because I have this connection, I know this is not good for my body and for the animals, and of course later on the environment as well, but at this stage it was only for the health and the animals. So yeah, I remember Astrid and I just went vegan overnight, and then Sigrid joined us like a day after or something. So it was easier since all three of us did this together. I'm guessing it would be harder if I was alone, if I was doing this all by myself. But if you have, you know, sisters or friends or whatever doing this with you, it's easier to, you know, help each other out. And also we made our meals together, and our parents made their meals separately. Or actually sometimes we all make like a vegan meal and everyone has it together. So that's really nice. But yeah, at this stage it was 2014 and we became vegan. So the thing we were doing, like the food we were eating, was exactly the same food as before we were vegan. So like the standard like Swedish type of meals, just with substitutes. So we just switched the like a dairy milk to a vegan milk, or plant-based milk. And all those things that you can switch out we did. So we still ate the same type of foods. And I just want to add to say, like, I've always had problem with my skin, so I always had like acne and problem skin. And when I saw all these videos online, I was like, all those people talked about like, oh, you get clear skin and you get this and this and this and that, and you know, everything is perfect in that sense. And after like a year of eating this way, I was like, nothing's happening. I still have acne. I still, you know, I haven't, you know, seen all these amazing things, because I thought I could just go vegan and that's it. You know, I didn't have to, you know, switch out anything else. So I started to look up other YouTubers. So I found Chef AJ and Nina Randa and, you know, people like that. It was like Dr. McDougall and the Esselstyns. And I was really interested in hearing like Nina Randa talking about how they clear their skin with eating no oil or no fats. And I wanted to try it out, and like, I guess all three of us, we were eating like majority, like our main meals kind of like that, like Chef AJ and Nina Randa were talking about, like with lots of starch and vegetables and fruits, and like no oil. But we were still eating lots outside of, like, every time we went out for dinner, we always had like really fatty meals and like junk food, vegan junk food. So I saw a slight difference in my skin, but I didn't see like a big difference, because I was still eating lots of oil. And when I was in Rome, I guess it was like 2016, I ate like my main meals at home, you know, fat-free. And then of course I had to eat all the delicious Italian food, like pizza and pasta, and everything was like drenched in oil because that's how the Italians do it. And I had, you know, still had breakouts and lots of acne. And I guess we just kept on doing this, like little by little we tried to take out processed foods from our diets and eating, you know, more and more whole food, plant-based, and try to eat, you know, as little processed things as possible and just focus on eating lots of rice, potatoes, vegetables, fruits, you know, different types of starch like quinoa and things like that. And I just like saw like my skin got better and better and better. So that was kind of the same thing now when I was in London for 7 months. I was eating, you know, good when I was at home, and then when I went out I wanted to try all these different dishes and restaurants and food that they had, like junk food that they had in the stores in London that we don't have in Sweden. And you know, I love trying new foods and it's delicious, but the only thing is that I feel really sick, like I'm bloated, and I get like a pain in my stomach every time I eat, you know, really unhealthy food. And I also get like a breakout. So I really have to pick and choose my times when I want to try things, because I know I'm gonna have lots of, you know, side effects afterwards. But yeah, now when we came back home from London, we started to really eat like the healthiest way we've ever ate in our whole lives. So it feels great. And I also started to work out more, because I always been, you know, back and forth with working out. And, you know, work out for a little while, really intense, and then, you know, it fades out, and, you know, going back and forth. But now I really feel like I'm in a really good routine and I'm feeling great. I never felt this good in my whole life, so I'm really happy about it. Yeah, and I also want to just mention that like the hardest part of going vegan wasn't really, at least for me, it wasn't, you know, the food itself, because I was never a big fan of meats and things like that. Maybe like dairy products I liked, but if I had a craving for something now when I'm vegan, it wasn't really for that, you know, non-vegan foods. It was more so like oils, sugars and salt. So it would easily be, you know, taken care of with like a chocolate cake or something, like a vegan one. So I don't have that problem not being vegan. It's more so if I still like eating oils and sugar and salt and things like that, it just like keeps on feeding, like we call it our monsters, so like dragons. And like if I don't eat any of those things, I feel good and I don't feel craving for it. But if I'm starting to eat something unhealthy, I'm like back, like I'm waking up my dragon, and like I'm back at square one again, and I want to eat more of it. So I just try to stay away from that as much as possible. I mean, the other day we ate a little unhealthy food, so I can see like I got some pimples straight away, you know, the day after. But yeah, it's so much better now, and I really do enjoy the way I'm eating. And yeah, I just want to say like the hardest part about, you know, going vegan, for me at least, was like all the people around me. When we went to like family gatherings, it was always, you know, those distant family members who was like, what? Are you vegan? What's that? Like, you don't eat this and that? And oh, this is just gonna be a phase, and when are you gonna stop being vegan? Or, you know, those comments from other people. And also never rely on that other people's gonna have like the food you want to eat, because we have those family members who thinks that they can serve a salad with like shrimps in it and be like, okay, but those vegans can just pick out the shrimps from the salad. It doesn't work that way. So just be prepared. Always bring your own food with you. That's like my number one tip, is like I always bring food with me. And if I don't have the food with me, I always know that I'm prepared, in that sense that I know why I am vegan. So if there is nothing I can eat, then I will not eat, because I strongly believe that this is the way to live and the way to eat. So I'm not tempted to eat anything non-vegan. So if you're thinking about going vegan, or if you're newly vegan, or if you already are vegan and just want to have some more inspiration to keep it up, I can link some people in the description box. So people that I look up to and get inspired by. So you can see some more videos and get more inspired about food and why you should do this. And because now it's for all the reasons. As I said, like, I started to think about it for my health, and then I really went vegan because of the animals, and now it's for the environment as well. So now I have like all these pieces, like why I want to be vegan. So now it makes it super easy for me to keep it up. I've met people who say that they're vegan, but they don't really know why they're vegan. They just became vegan because it was a trend, because it was like a very, you know, big thing last couple of years to be vegan. So I would definitely say just do your research, know why you want to be vegan and why you're doing it. It makes it so much easier to keep it up. And also, if you, like, I know I've talked a lot about, you know, what type of food I'm eating, and you don't have to do the same. I mean, you don't have to eat, because a lot of people think it's very like strict to eat the way I'm eating, or like try to eat 90% of the time. But you don't, to be a vegan, you don't have to eat like super healthy. I'm eating super healthy because, like, for my sake, because of my health, because that's the way I'm feeling the best, and I don't have to deal with the breakouts and things like that. But I would say, like, if you want to be vegan but still want to eat lots of delicious foods, go for it. Eat, you know, lots of, you know, junk food and enjoy it. I don't mind, because as long as you're eating vegan, that's good enough for the animals and for the planet. So do your best, and if you don't feel like you can go vegan overnight and, you know, do it fully, just add like one vegan meal into your weekly routine, because that's gonna make a big difference, and maybe slowly but surely you will get there and be fully vegan one day. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Hej då!